Hello guys, welcome to our show. So I did a video talking about China and a few people commented. Some of them said that, well, China is just a business person doing business in Africa. And some other people also said that China is using Africa and is collecting Africa's resources. And there was one particular comment that really gets me. The person wrote that China giving loans to Africa, we complain. China forgave the loan, we still complain. So I want to talk about this because it's related to the conversation for today. Let me start by asking this question. Is China in Africa for a business purpose or for humanitarian purpose? In other words, is China in Africa to make money or to give out handouts and help the poor and needy in Africa? Please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. And I do believe that we as humans have very subjective opinions on so many things. So everyone is free to share their thoughts and opinions. But please make it civil. Do not attack each other. Share your opinions and ideas in a more constructive way so that it drives this conversation forward. I like forward thinking people. People who critique in a very constructive way. I like that because I also critique a lot, but I don't attack people. I just share my opinions. So I would love that from you too. So share your thoughts with us in the comment section. So, China in Africa, is it good? Is it bad? Neither of them is not good nor bad. It depends on how you look at it. This is what I think. China in Africa has good side and also has bad side. Like any other thing, there is the good side, there is a bad side. And China has done so much for Africa. That is true. China has built roads. China has built bridges. China has built power dams. And these things, we need them in Africa. China has also exploited our resources. China has taken our raw minerals. China is exploring gold in Ghana. Okay. China is exploring our marine resources, fish, and other ocean resources in Cameroon. There have been complaints of them even destroying the marine life. So, there you go. But to say that China is good or bad, I think it's just a very narrow way to look at it. My way of looking at things is from the African perspective. What do we have to gain from the relationship with China? And how do we balance it to make sure that we are not being cheated by China? I have said in my previous video that if you have a friend who does almost everything for you, that friend will one day order you around, or that friend will request something of you that you might not be in the position to reject or to deny that friend, even though you might not necessarily like what the person is requesting. And you might not want to give what the person is requesting. But because of what that person has done for you or is doing for you, you will have no choice but to compromise. And that is my point. So we Africans must understand that China is not in Africa for humanitarian purpose. China is not an NGO that gives handout. China is in Africa for business. And like any business person, profits is priority number one. So we Africans must never, ever forget that. China is not your friend. China is not coming to Africa because of friendship. China doesn't want to be your friend. China is a partner, a business partner for that matter. China wants what you have. China is willing to entice you with what China has in order to get what you have. So you should not be blinded by the sweet talk of China. You should not be blinded by the interest-free loans from China. You should not be blinded by the no question asked loans. And the idea that China would not interfere with your domestic politics is all a lie. Because they do it. They ask for favors. When UN has a vote, there are countries who will vote with China. You know why they do that? Because China gives them loans. You see. So, my brother and sister, do not forget this. There is never, ever a free lunch. Never, ever. Everything has something attached to it. And I am not saying that we shouldn't trade with China or we shouldn't deal with China. Dealing with China is great. But we must also remember to do what is in our best interest. And we must never forget that China giving us loans doesn't mean it's our friend. No, the bank is never your friend. That is a quote you must never forget. The bank is never your friend. A day will come when the bank will come calling for its loans and you will have to pay it back. Same as China. So, my brothers and sisters, again, I will say it clearly. I am not against China. I am not against China doing business in Africa. In fact, I love China, and I love the fact that China is doing business in Africa. I have been to China. I have lived there for a couple of years. So I understand China. When I'm saying that we Africans must be very vigilant, is because I have seen that we Africans are being carried away by the interest-free loans, by the loan forgiveness, and we are mixing the bigger picture. So we have to be very, very careful. We must keep our eyes on the ball. We must understand that China is a business partner, not a humanitarian. And whatever China gives to us Africans or to Africa, there is a catch. There is always a catch. So my brothers and sisters in Africa, my fellow Pan-Africanists, please share your thoughts with us in the comment section. What do you think about China's involvement in Africa? Has it benefited the Africans as much as it has benefited China? And secondly, do you think that we Africans really understand why China is dealing with us? Let us know in the comment section below. Like always, we love hearing your thoughts and opinions on the topics that we cover on this show. Thank you very much, and see you in the next one. Goodbye.